I'm going to leave my Sims 4 game unattended and unpaused for an entire Sims year, and if that's not already a terrible idea, we're gonna make all of the Sims in the household Occult Sims. I built this house on my channel a little while ago. I'll link the video down below if you want to see how I built it. I did add a few extra things here and there, like I've got a swimming pool, I added a wishing well, and like a few other things that I thought might create a little bit more chaos. Like, you know, a couple extra fireplaces. But it has a bedroom here for every single occult in The Sims 4. The occults being plant sims, servo, skeletons / Bonehilda, mermaids, ghosts, aliens, spellcasters, vampires, the Grim Reaper, and werewolves. In that build video, I did also explain a little bit about the different occults. So if you don't know about a lot of the occults in The Sims 4, that video does a pretty good job at explaining. So this is the bottom floor here. You can see all of the bedrooms look kind of different. Like we've got the plant sim one over here. We've got our servo bedroom looking all like robotic and stuff. We've got a couple of our sims already hanging out together. And I've actually gone in already and maxed out their occult skills. So every occult sim living here is going to be at the highest rank of their occult. For our sims for this challenge, we have Candace George, our plant sim, Felix Sided, our ghost sim, Maeve Langston, our alien, Kendra Nardone, our vampire, Aylin Gregg, our mermaid, Stephen Langston, our spellcaster, who's for some reason missing a shoe. We've got Talon McBride, our werewolf, and we've got Ike the Reaper, our Grim Reaper sim. We do also end up adding Bonehilda and our servo sim, so we're not only going to be seeing how they're all going to interact together, but also how they'll interact with no interruptions and no influence from myself. I'm also turning on a bunch of lot traits here just to really ensure that we're going to have the most chaos we can possibly get. So we're turning on the cursed trait. You know what? Let's just turn on all of them except for like the simple living one. We're not going to be making sure that they need ingredients for cooking for this kind of challenge, so we're going to turn on all of the ones that would make a passive impact. I'm also turning on the vampire nexus trait and the romantic aura. Why not? Okay, so in my game right now, it is day 5 of summer, so I'm going to leave my sims. I'm gonna go about my day, come back, keep an eye on things, and after a year has gone by, we will check in and see what's gone down. I also had to go in and create my servo right when we started, so I did that, and I also summoned Bonehilda.
Later.
Alright, I'm back. A whole year in The Sims 4 took a total of about 7 hours in real life for me. You can see here in my game, it is day 5 of summer again, and we're missing a couple players here. I started this in the morning. I had some like editing and like other videos to do, so while I was doing that, I had my sims screaming, crying, and throwing up on my other monitor. At some points, I was literally watching this go down like a movie. Obviously, I didn't touch anything, like I didn't make my sims do anything, but if I noticed if something was going down, I would like zoom my camera in to get a better look. It was quite the entertainment. So let's review some of the things that happened. We have definitely had some deaths, and this place is looking like a disaster. Probably because we actually did have quite a few natural disasters, like multiple earthquakes and meteor showers. Everything got so dirty in here. It probably didn't help that our cleaning robot sim checked out early. Unfortunately, our servo sim short-circuited and died very early on. It was quite tragic. Some other things that happened early on, our alien sim and the Grim Reaper became really good friends somehow. A romance started to form between our vampire and spellcaster sim, and literally everything, including servo, started to break pretty much immediately. Our vampire and werewolf naturally ended up despising each other, and our second death occurred not too long after servo's death. Sadly, our plant sim was the second to go, dying of starvation after only a few days. This kind of made sense. They were 2 of the weaker occult sims of the bunch. We did get to see our plant sim come back as a ghost though, which was really cute. She even stayed in her plant form as a ghost and visited pretty often. Unfortunately though, we didn't see a servo ghost, which I was kind of bummed about. Oh, and I kept trying to like randomly summon Bonehilda, but she only sticks around on the lot for about 12 hours, so she didn't really have a big impact here. Eventually, our electricity and water bills got shut off. Obviously, no one was paying the bills. So as the days went on, our poor Sims got so stinky. And of course, we had to pay the consequences when the repo guy showed up and stole our broken computer, which actually helped us out here somehow because that actually turned our power back on. By the middle of fall, we started dealing with a ton of fires, which hadn't really been an issue until then. The massive amount of dust around the house definitely didn't help. And of course, our Sims had to pay the consequences for that too. On a random day in the middle of the fall, disaster strikes and our entire upper floor caught fire. We had a few fires here and there before that, but this was the biggest one that I had seen up until this point. It started in the right wing and spread all the way over to the left before going out. And because it was out of range from the smoke detector, no firefighters showed up anytime there was a fire upstairs. So we just had to wait for it to go out on its own, which sometimes took like days. And in the midst of it all, of course, Grim seemed very entertained. That big fire actually didn't kill any Sims directly, although it did force all of them to stand outside in the cold for a very long time until it stopped. And our poor mermaid Sim froze to death while standing outside in her bikini. Shortly after they were able to go inside after the fire, apparently our spellcaster Sim did not learn his lesson as he set the barbecue ablaze and we had our first death by fire. I feel like after this point, there was literally a fire somewhere on the lot at all times. At some point, our werewolf got abducted by aliens. I didn't even notice that he was gone, but I did see him come back randomly. So I'm not sure how long he was gone for. Because of the lot traits, we had plasma bats and spiders occurring very often. The repo guy showed up and took one of our beds. At one point, Repo Kyle showed up and stole another one of our beds. And eventually, we were literally running out of places to sleep because everything was either destroyed by the fire or taken by the repo guy. These fires were relentless. And our second truly devastating house fire happened at some point in the winter on the main level. This one happened in the living room and we actually had firefighters show up this time. However, the fire grew too large for them to put out and our occult Sims were literally no help at all. After burning for hours again, this fire actually ended up claiming our alien Sim. Our vampire Sim was also in trouble. And in the middle of this fire, we had a huge earthquake, which I think threw the firefighters off their game because one of them unfortunately also got taken out by the fire. Cue the Grim Reaper parade, and somehow our vampire Sim managed to escape this. It was a really close call though. I thought she was dead for sure. So the living room turned into a graveyard, and this fire kept going until it took out like half the right wing on the first floor. Other honorary things that happened, a random fox named Peanut Butter started living here. Sometimes the ghosts of Sims who passed would walk the halls, and during pretty much the entire month of spring, our remaining Sims spent their time helplessly trying to clean the place up. To no avail, obviously. By the end of this, we're left with only 4 Sims, 2 of which I don't even think can die, honestly. Our vampire Sim hasn't worn clothes in like a month. I'm pretty sure they burned off in a fire. And as you can see, this entire upper floor is basically a wasteland. I'm gonna pay the bills right now so we can get the lights turned back on. Like, okay, look how bad this is. Everything is burnt. There's dust everywhere. All of these little like dust piles are just things that have burnt. The laundry hampers are gross. Pretty much everything that could be broken broke. The Grim Reaper's bedroom is even more of a graveyard than it was before. The place is being overrun by dust bunnies. And honestly, the bottom floor is better, but it's not too much better, especially this like living room. The stove has been broken and on fire for a very long time. These bedrooms over here in the right wing definitely got the worst of it. And one final thing I wanted to check was their milestones. So I'm checking out our vampires milestones right here. I did notice we have a fell in love milestone with Steven, who was our spellcaster. The fire, obviously, we saw a lot of those, manifested as a vampire. Our ghost Sim had energy failure and bladder failures. Apparently our werewolf Sim got in a fight with Lilith Vitor, who is another vampire. And we also also have the abducted by aliens milestone. For our notifications, nothing really happened that I didn't explain already. We did have like a few close calls, almost burning to death a couple times. And yeah, our remaining Sims that live here really do not get along, so I'm sure they can't wait to get out of here. All I want to do is clean this place up, honestly. But that has been us leaving The Sims 4 unpaused for over a year with all Occult Sims. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know any gameplay ideas you want to see me do in the future down in the comment section. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.